Later on in the video, I'm going to show you how to cover the sides of the shadow box. Me personally, I don't like how it looks. I prefer to cover it up. You can use scrapbooking paper or use white paper to cover that if you want, or decorate it. Whatever you want to do, it's up to you. So I decided to change my mind with the background. I don't like the background that I chose. That is the scrapbooking paper that I got from the craft store. I'm going to use the ribbons that I got from the Dollar Tree, and it comes in spool. And so I'm going to glue all of them to the back of the frame. Make sure you only glue the bottom part of the ribbon and the top part of the ribbon. Do not glue the sides of the ribbons just because we are going to put the lights under the ribbons. Just make sure you're very careful not burning yourself because it's very hot. This is what it's going to look like once you have the lights under the ribbons. Make sure all the lights are spread out evenly, and make sure that all the lights are not on the edge, as we are going to glue the back to the frame. Make sure you have the lights set up exactly how you want it before we take the next step. Now for the batteries, I did not have a small Phillips screwdriver, so I was able to pop it open and put the batteries in, and you could just pop it back in. Make sure before you even start the shadow box, you test the lights and make sure they work. So I decided to use a picture of my kids. I made sure that I spread out all the lights so that you are able to see them. If it's placed under the picture, you won't barely see the light. Now that I have the lights placed where I want them to be, I'm going to start gluing each sides of the ribbons to keep the lights in place. Now for the picture, I used hot glue, and I only put a little bit on it on the back. I did use regular glue, but it was taking too long for it to dry. This pack I did get from the dollar store. I used hot glue, only a little bit, not too much. Make sure you just put a little bit and then press it on the ribbon. On the first shadow box, I did try using the sticker, and it just came off. It fell off. So I decided to hot glue all the stickers. Now all the stickers that you see that I'm using are all from the Dollar Tree. You can get them in the section where all the stickers are at, or I guess like office supplies. That's the section where you will find them. Just make sure you put a little bit of hot glue, not too much, and just press on the ribbon. And just be careful you don't burn yourself. I also got a pack of butterflies from the Dollar Tree as well. They come in different colors and different sizes. Just make sure you don't peel them off. Just cut around the butterflies. They won't stick well on textured backgrounds. I tried on the first shadow box and it just fell. It just fell off. So just put a little bit of hot glue, not so much, just lightly, and then press on the ribbon and make sure it sticks. Now for this shadow box, I wanted to do something different. So I cut another piece of ribbon and I glued it on the bottom of the frame. So that's just going to be on the base. Now the piece was a little bit long, so what I did is I folded the edge and then I glued it to the bottom. Now I'm gluing the edge to make sure it's intact and keeping the ribbon from moving. So I decided to add more stickers on the background to it. It still looks kind of naked. So this sticker I also got from the Dollar Tree as well. I also got the stones from the Dollar Tree as well. They come in a bag. So I decided to take some stones and hot glue them on the base of the shadow box. Just make sure that if you are gluing some big stones on it, just put a generous amount of hot glue and apply pressure and wait for a couple of seconds for it to cool down. And just test it out to make sure that it's not lifting or it's not moving, just to keep it secured. I also decided to use moss, which is from the Dollar Tree as well, and used Gorilla Glue. I used a little bit on it and I placed it on the corner of the bottom of the shadow box. It takes time to dry. You can use hot glue if you want, but I decided to use the Gorilla Glue. So I decided I want to add more butterflies inside the shadow box. So you just put a little bit of hot glue and tilt the butterfly. If it's a real big one, just tilt the butterfly to make sure that it fits in a frame. And make sure that it's not sticking out of the frame. They do come in different sizes, so you could put them anywhere. So the butterfly that's on the base of the frame, I only used glue on the bottom of the wings and I glued it on the stone. Make sure you test out the box frame and put it on top of the back of the frame. Make sure that it fits perfect before you start gluing. The gemstones I got from the Dollar Tree as well. They were clear. I cut out magazines and I glued them behind the stone. So you could put pictures or glitter on the stones. And the flowers on the frame that I put, I also got it from the Dollar Tree. I hot glued it and then I put a small tiny rhinestone on the flower. You could get that at AC Moore or Joann's, I guess any craft store. Now making a lamp, you would need a marble and either wires or a finding to glue the marble so you can hook it on the lamp posts. So I used one of the flowers from the Dollar Tree and I pulled out some of the wires. Um, you can cut it short, long, however big you want the lamp to be. So mine's was kind of small. You're going to use the wire cutters and you're going to turn it, bend it. So make sure you bend it and make a loop. And that's where you're going to place the light or the marble on it. Now, once you place the marble or whatever you're placing on the hook, make sure that once it's placed, you tighten the loop a little more so that while you're finishing off the shadow box, it does not come off. Mine's in the process of fixing my box. It came off, so I had to detach the background and re-glue the back. So you don't want that to happen. Once your lamp is all ready and set to glue, you're going to put glue on the back of the lamp, just a little bit, and then you're going to put pressure on the board. You're just going to wait a couple of seconds and let it cool down. Now you could put a sticker in front of it. I put a little flower pot. You could put stones or moss in front of the lamp if you want and be creative. Or you could just leave it plain. I'm going to show you a couple of pendants that I made using wire wrapping. All the marbles that I have used are also from the Dollar Tree. If you want to learn how to make these, I will share the link below so you can follow and learn how to make them. I got the wires from AC Moore. They were on clearance for $3. You can get them in different colors. You can also get it in a Dollar Tree as well. When you keep applying items on your background, make sure you keep checking that the frame of your shadow box fits. Now I'm pushing all the lights away from the edges and gluing the edges of the ribbons. Make sure you keep checking your glass that it's clean of any debris or any hot glue that are dried on there. Just make sure you clean it off. Now you're ready to glue the backing. Make sure you put enough hot glue on all the sides. Then once you're done, you're going to use the frame and you're going to make sure it's all even. Apply pressure to the backing for a couple of seconds. Make sure it's cooled down and then you're done. I forgot to mention I did not paint this. I spray painted the frame. It's a matte finish and I purchased it from Lowe's. Make sure when using the spray paint you do it outdoors. I only used one coat. It's still a little discolored, but I left it the way it is because it gave it a vintage look. Now, if you wanted it all even coating, you had to apply more layers on the frame. Once you are done gluing the box frame to the backing, make sure you check the back and that everything is intact. If you have to re-glue anything, just make sure you hot glue it. Now I'm going to start gluing the sides. I took the edge of the ribbon, I folded it, and then I glued it together. Then I start gluing the edges of it all around. Make sure you do it on all the corners. And make sure you do it slowly and that nothing comes apart or anything like that. So just take your time when you're doing this. Once you're done gluing the ribbon on the sides, you could add more items if you want. So I decided to put glue butterfly on top. If you want to put flowers, gemstones, whatever, you could do that or just leave it plain. I should have wrapped the rest of the wires of the lights around the box, but I wasn't thinking. So I decided to shove the wires in the side of the box and then I glued the rest of it, the ribbon. So now I'm going to use the backing of the stickers and I measured it and I cut it. I used Gorilla Glue and I attached it behind the batteries and I let it sit there and dry for a bit. Then I'm going to use hot glue gun and I'm going to glue it on the back of the frame. As I'm waiting for the glue to dry, I am gluing the rest of the ribbons on the side of the box. Now that the glue is dry, we are going to hot glue the back of the paper that we glued on the batteries. Just put a generous amount of hot glue and glue it on the back of the frame. Stay tuned on the next video. I'm going to show you on how to make the shadow box. I was just making this real quick for Mother's Day, so I wasn't able to show you how to make it. So stay tuned and click subscribe. Thanks for watching.